Damn. Okay. What is the greatest challenge you've overcome, and what did it teach you? All right. Also adding to this, because of the soft-hearted Tuesday group and their love of each other, if you want to ask the question of another PC instead of an NPC, if that other PC agrees to answer, you may do so. Okay, you can't like force an answer from another player, but if you know,
That's fun. I like that.
yeah. Basically, if you see somebody else rolled for it, you could like really salt the wound and be like, "Hey, I won, and now I'd like to hear what you have to say, but you don't get any compensation." That's kind of how I took it, but they were like, "No, it's so that we can learn about each other because we love each other so much."
They should get a D2.
I'm gonna do really good on this Tuesday game, I think. Yeah, I have a really big heart. I've just been waiting for the opportunity to just tear open my sternum and show everyone my heart. Can't wait. So, all right. While you ruminate on that, would anybody for a recapspiration like to recap what happened last week? If you do, roll a d20 into chat. If you don't, I guess I'll do it. It's fine.
Were you able to get in, Darius?
Oh, is nobody getting in? Is that the problem? Am I the only one in?
No, I got in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I had a problem too, and then I had to refresh, and I just so.
Okay, going once, going twice. All right, I will recap. Oh wait, Daniel comes in with a 6.
I will always do the recap if no one wants to.
Fair enough, Daniel. Always do
I
the
love
recap when no
Daniel's
one wants to. Let's
in-character
do it. What happened last time?
Someone has picked up the charge. I could be no happier.
Well, you're going to get what you pay for, because I went to bed at a decent hour last night and did not do as much diary work as I wanted.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, but fair enough. Dear Diary, last week on Curse of Strahd Daybreak, free from the confines of Castle Ravenloft, The Walking Dead, sought refuge, at the monoliths, near Old Bone Grinder. I would have rather kept going to Valakai, but everyone else was all like, we need to, take a day to rest and recover because the castle was kind of bad. And, having barely slept in the last couple of days, I wasn't going to argue. So, I didn't really care for those old, standing stones. They're always kind of creepy, plus I, buried a kid there. So that's always kind of rough. But, Tiernan, he assured us that they were safe, and that's okay. But I must have been so tired because as soon as I got there, it was just like I couldn't even stay on my feet. Even the blood spear, it just seemed too much just to carry. But luckily Shane was there to help me out. It was a rough time. It was like in the 90s when they introduced the Mountain Dew Cube, and all your friends would be like, "Oh, dude, 24 packs," and then 3 a.m. you crash. It was like that. Let's see. We spent the day kind of resting, recuperating, going off into our respective circles. More Survivor Island stuff. Zulika and Emil, now reunited, they went off and just had the best day. While I was busy brooding, over my life's, tribulations, Team Tiernan, Team Taltos, they were busy, in secret chat, talking about how they should go to Zlinka Pass and like, we're Team Good Guy, but I kind of hope everyone else could be Team Good Guy. And then I don't know, like Anna, Darius, they went off and they had a chat. I assume it was to air some old dirty laundry. If I had to guess, I'd say Anna was still kind of pissed that we just left her in her afternoon. I mean, we were gonna come back. Patience. Let's see. Then I had a heart-to-heart with Shane. Apparently, it's getting hard. Dealing with all this death and violence and just the horror of it. Sparky's not helping. Kavan, he's all like, "You're worthy, but I don't I'm not going to tell you what that means. And now, like, I'm done with you. And I'm just like, God damn it. But Shane, we talked. We had that heart to heart. You know, I feel like it should be helping me make me feel better, but just, I don't know. You know, then we chatted for a while. You know, day passes. Ooh, Zaluka comes back with a meal. They are just, they had, like I said, they had their best life. They were out, you know, partying, doing all sorts of, you know, young married, you know, couple stuff, you know, who, you know, don't, you know, who have got the kids off at the babysitter and they can just go have a date night. That's what they did. But they came back and, you know, Wally Emil went and tended to everyone else and offered up firm handshakes to everyone else. Zaluka did have a chat with me. She offered me a chance to, well, be a werewolf. It was unexpected. You know, and really, yeah, it was. It completely took Daniel aback. It's like it's the last thing I thought anyone would ever offer, especially from Zaluka, because we had some trust issues early on. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, I thought about it and, you know, I was just like, fuck it, we're gonna do this. But, you know, while we're talking about that, everyone else talking with Emil, saying hi, you know, introducing themselves. More time passes. The last thing Daniel really remembers of the night is, you know, he got rid of that, you know, that janky blood spear. I mean, it wasn't doing anything anyway. You know, so he gave it back to Tiernan. It was like, you know, dude, you can have this. I'm done with it. You know, and he went off into the forest with Zaluka, and goddamn, in retrospect, that was kind of the hottest thing I'd ever done. I mean, you know, it wasn't sexual, but it was definitely intimate. I mean, dude, like, I think I trust and love this woman, like, enough to let her do what she did. And I think she had to, like, you know, trust me enough to, you know I'm not going to freak out. So then we, you know, that happened. Woke up the next morning and we packed camp and went to go see the Dusk Elves. What's his name? I never met him before. Mr. No Nose. We talked to him about going to the Amber Temple. You know, but we were, you know, made very aware that this is, you know, something for the end of all things. It's like the last save spot in the video game. Oh yeah, that guy, Casimir. Yeah, it's like, you know, we better make sure we've got all of our side quests done before we do it, because there's no saving afterwards. It's all cutscenes and boss fights. So, like, we're okay. You know, how about we prepare? We take 2 weeks, you know, right after the next full moon. You know, we're gonna get everything out of the park. We're gonna get everything ready. And then we're gonna, you know, revisit this and hopefully make the trip. And I think we left off leaving there. And did we arrive at Jenny's, or were we going somewhere else? Daniel doesn't remember. But that is the long and the short of what happened last time.
Woo. All right. Well done. Go ahead and take that recap inspiration. You need me to drop one on there, or you got it?
No, I got it.
All right, sweet.
I like how he qualified that before he started it. Well, this isn't going to be as good as I want it to be.
Yeah.
And just fucking nailed it.
He just whips that out. Yeah, okay, dude.
Sometimes you get a recap that is very accurate, but also like very academic. Do you know what I'm saying? But like Daniel always delivers all the details, but through the filter of Daniel, which is like exactly what we're going for. Exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, it's how he remembers things.
Mm-mm. If we had Crashies anymore, I'm feeling like best recap. No. It's getting ahead of myself. All right. So
we're not even halfway through the year.
I love those.
The Crashies was so good,
fun.
but it was so much work. Like every year, Gabe Next is like, "Should we do the Crashies?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Cool." And then we never do them because it was so much work last time.
I feel like we need like a Crashy committee or something, like so that instead of it being all foisted onto like 2 people, it's sort of more.
My intern at my day job we don't have enough money to retain them. So he applied to be my intern for Crash Gym. So I don't know what to do with that. I could definitely use the help, but I'm not sure. Not sure if I can make it work or not. Anyways, we'll see. Having an intern would be pretty hype. We could get a lot of things done. But I don't believe in unpaid interns.
You
So
could be in charge of foundry upkeep.
oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my god! Just quietly weep with relief. All right. Speaking of, Lancer has not been fixed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think Lancer's gonna be fixed. So get used to using the acted button because I don't think it's gonna be fixed. We'll see. If it is, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Otherwise, we'll ride it out. We're more than we're past the halfway mark and then some, so we should be okay. All right. If anybody would like to answer the Factspiration question, what's the greatest challenge you've overcome, and what did it teach you? If you're interested in answering such a question, roll D20 into chat to get a D. Where are we at? Where are we at on levels? You guys hit the big 10 yet?
Still
Nope.
9.
Okay, still 9. All right, so D8. It's a D8 still. All right, Shane Masters with a 5. Going once. Going twice. All right, Shane Masters, answer the question. Thus far, what's the greatest challenge you've overcome, and what did it teach you?
Man, I didn't think I'd get this with a 5. So my greatest challenge, honestly, was surviving living in my house growing up, and the fact that I was able to leave that, was a testament to me and what one can go through. It taught me that the only one you can really rely on is yourself.
Wow. Okay. When Barovia is like a reprieve from your
Right?
childhood. Damn.
Yeah, he's had it rough.
Damn. Okay. All right. You may ask the same question of any willing PC or NPC. They don't have to be willing that you've met previously in the campaign.
Well, I mean, the Walking Dead are a lot of damaged people, and I think I know a lot of their traumas already. So as tempting as that would be, I think I'm gonna ask. Although, yeah, I'm gonna go with Dimitri again. We're gonna just gonna find out as much as we can about him. Dimitri.
Okay.
Kreskov.
Well, let's see. The greatest challenge that Dmitry Kreskov has overcome is learning to live with his bloodline, essentially his bloodline curse. I would say I was going to say the challenge of his daughter's death, but he hasn't really overcome that yet. So it would just be in general a life of being in a high stress leadership position while also maintaining control of a curse that essentially pushes you to literally consume the weak, the innocent, and those that he would be charged to protect. What did it teach him? It taught him that man or woman or person it is possible to overcome the adversities of the heart and the mind, but it is never easy. So that's what he walked away with. Whether or not that's true, that's what he walked away with. All right, so let me give you that Factspiration.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And you guys are mid-travel to your destination, yes?
Yeah, we stopped at the Duskels.
Did we leave notes for ourselves? We didn't. Excellent.
I think we left off last. I think we left off. Did we want to keep talking with him about the 2-week, like kind of timeline I suggested, or if we just were on the road after that?
Oh yes. That sounds good. All right. And we had already dealt out the boons and banes of your travels, so we don't need to worry about that. It would just be you finish up here and then you go to your place. So that's good. All right. So I guess the question is, do you want to keep speaking with Casimir Velikov, or do you have enough information? Oh, I gotta rush over to this Lexaeus 22 channel. Gotta farm these points.
Mhm.
Farm these points.
They're gonna spoil you on Curse of Strahd, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a special stream when we hit 20. We're just 2 away.
Oh damn.
Oh, you guys you have
We have
18?
We have 18.
That's incredible. All right.
I feel like I've destroyed the economy.
Nah, I mean, wait, you yourself are sitting on 18, or this game has 18?
Daybreak has 18 fanspos.
I mean, people love watching you guys suffer. I mean,
Just good,
Yeah.
because we're going to
Yeah.
need literally all of them.
it's
in,
like we're playing a Saw actual play and not Dungeons and Dragons. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some real sickos out there just watching you guys get run through the meat grinder of your souls. So, anyways, I'm gonna focus a lot of my therapy on getting over Curse of Strahd once Curse of Strahd's over.
We're gonna be
I
running
love
a happy Cobalt game. It's fun.
That's true. That's gonna be nice. All right. It sounds like you don't have any more questions for him, so I guess we'll roll out.
There's a
Auto-
turn to Daniel and be like, why 2 weeks?
Good question.
Well, one because the full moon, but
What?
but logistically, man, like the Dark Lord, he's not gonna let us sit on this forever. But I don't think he expects us to get everything done overnight. We're jerking him around too much longer. I think he's gonna be done with us. And I think 2 weeks. I mean, I think we can deal with the werewolves and the third stone thing and any loose ends we got to deal with. But I think if we just have that deadline, it'll motivate us a bit more. Maybe we don't take 5 days, resting at the spa, every time somebody shoots a chandelier. Maybe we just keep going.
Wow, I feel called out.
Damn.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue then.
That'd be pretty wild if that happened, though.
But yeah, I think mostly the Baron, he's not going to let us jerk around. We said we're going to help him. We need to at least look like we're doing so.
No argument here.
Yeah.
All right, to Jenny's.
And we came here what, in the evening?
Yeah, you guys will be staying like the night essentially.
So then-
You're camping nearby.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
long rest and then morning to Jenny's.
Well, I mean, it depends. It's not going to be a long rest for Tiernan. It could be the long rest for the rest of you. But even this wild place is too settled for Tiernan's taste.
Oh.
Tiernan of the jungle, some call him.
Do they?
No, I don't see that. First of all, they don't know what a jungle is in this setting. I don't think.
It's not this
I
world.
guess Tiernan of the wood. There we go.
Yeah, we don't need long rest here, and we got long rest at home.
Damn. Damn, bro. Damn.
Just homeburgers you.
All right, so yeah, that's the thing. Like, because you guys are still on good terms. I mean, you're the only group that saved Ariel's
Arabella?
daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, the only group that saved her. So yeah, you guys are on good terms with them. So everyone but Tiernan, you can use it as a long rest spot. Okay. And then you make it the rest of the way to Jenny. All right, sounds good. Right. What was that? There was a thing Dom told me I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, I was supposed to make you guys a group actor. I was on my prep list this morning. Let's see. I'll go ahead and get that going while we're working on other stuff. Let's see. So, we know what happens. You go the rest of the way to Jenny, and then we're there. We go grab Jenny's map. You know, for immersion. Let's see. Oh, is that currently in the box? Oh. There it is. Okay. Just drag that baby in. Give it a second. Wait for the timer to go off. Alright. Change out the music here. Layer of a dark witch. I don't know if she's really a dark witch. That doesn't seem very nice.
She's a nice witch.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. It's got little lilting doobly-doos. That's good. Alright. So, you guys arrive at Jenny Green Tea's hut. Jenny is, let's see, you got there at noon. That's right. So, I got you at 7 a.m., but there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. And at some point, I broke your guys' clock. I'll have to solve that later. Alright. So, good thing I've got a clock on my desk. Jenny would see you guys approach. I guess I could throw your minis out here for this. Let's see. All these people are still in the party. Gotta get Emil, your new friend that you guys have made. All right, sweet. So, she looks over at you, Daniel, from her porch, and she says, "Oh, Daniel,
Yep.
you have come back."
Yep. Daniel, he pulls out his Scrimshaw Dreamcatcher he picked up the first time in Kresik.
Oh, nice.
And he'll run over and like pick her up and swing her around and be like, Jenny!
Okay, yeah, you know, you kind of lift her off the ground a little bit. Yeah. She's a big lady. Got them elephant legs. It's a whole thing. She embraces you warmly, and she kisses you on the forehead, and she says, "Oh, Daniel, you have returned. Your heart is bright, and your eyes. But there are shadows still. They grow."
A lot's happened, Jenny. And you're like kind of whispering, it's like, we can talk later, but everyone else is happy is excited to see you.
Oh, yes. Look at this. Who still walks with the dead? The rose of the valley. Interesting. And the wolves of the north. Yes, things are happening now. You are welcome to stay in my grove. And she just kind of magnanimously sort of like motions at everything.
Thank you. I'll be back in a bit. And Darius walks off.
Okay. Does anyone try to follow? No? Okay.
Nope.
All right. So Darius walks off into the woods.
He does.
Let's see.
And
A meal approaches real quick, and he says, Hag, my name is Emil Taranescu. You are Jenny Greenteeth of the woods. I have never sought you out of fear and superstition, and for that I am sorry. It is my honor to be welcome in your grove. She gives him a hard look, and she says, the wolfen hearts are full of hunger, hatred. There was one who was to unite them, to bind them in service, to bring balance to the land. As the Seeker tries on their path, so too was the wolf to lead his pack down theirs. And Emil looks uncomfortable, and he says, You speak of Roderick, the Red Wolf. And she nods slowly. And he says, Then you know that his heart and soul and service belong to Ravenloft. She nods slowly again. Says, then I bring it up. She says, prophecies. Well, I find them to be troublesome. They never seem to do what you think they're going to do. I do not think the story of the wolves is over just yet. And he looks really thoughtful, and I guess it's making him nervous because he's sweating real hard. Just like thinking about it. And then she says, I will make sandwiches. Would you help me, Daniel?
Jenny, do this. He kind of rubs his hand together and opens the door for her.
Neil stands there, very confused. Werewolves not known for their high intelligence scores. He looks at Zaluka. Zaluka shrugs. Alright. Anybody in the grove got something? Otherwise, we could peek in on Darius to see what he's up to.
I got nothing.
Everyone's so quiet. You guys
Nope.
stay up
Yeah,
to everyone stay up to 3 in the morning beating Unicorn Overlord? I mean, if you did, we can definitely have a book club about it. You know what I'm saying? So Anna?
Please no. Anna would turn on her heels and walk up to Tiernan
Okay.
and expectantly hold her hand out to him like he needs to read her mind.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
Let me see what I do here.
You are possessed of the insight skill, which I guess is back, question mark, or is it still perception now? I think it's just perception now.
Shit, if it's still just perception, I'm fucking fantastic at reading people.
No domicile either.
Yeah, I will percept.
Hello?
Howdy.
I hear ya.
That was so... I'm having so many Discord sound issues. I just... Okay. So
I would like to percept intent.
okay. All right, Anna. Based on your body language and your approach, what's the general? What would a 28 get you to figure out like what is Anna after here?
She wants the book.
Oh,
He hands her an empty flask.
damn.
She drops it at his feet. She
Okay.
says, the book.
I think we should all be here together when we open this.
Fine.
So
Walks away.
let's set up a reading circle, and as soon as Daniel and Darius are done, we can get started.
Well, the book begins with the story of Prince Elaine, and he's a young boy, and the kingdom is under attack. A general and his
No.
no, sorry. All right, sure. Camera cuts to Darius. Where's Darius go?
Darius goes to Mackenzie's gravesite.
All right.
When he gets there, he kind of just looks down at it, sits down, takes out his book bag, takes out her journal, and like he's just talking to someone who's there, just starts telling them of everything that's been going on since they were last here at Jenny's. And yeah, there's going to be a couple of hours, so that's pretty much just what Darius does. He just speaks with a friend.
I have really bad news for you.
I know. Hit me with it.
Well, you've become something of an expert on the condition of graves.
Uh-huh.
This one has been recently disturbed.
Okay, so scratch all that. He looks at the grave. He sees that it's been disturbed. He... Yeah, he'll start digging into it.
Okay. The soil moves easily, having been recently disturbed. And as you dig deeper and deeper down, you know that what you felt initially in your heart is true. Her body is gone.
No. You gotta be kidding me. Darius is gonna run back.
Okay. We'll say that you've been gone maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes. I mean, supernatural makes it look like digging a grave really easy, but it's actually a lot of work, guys. A lot of blisters, sore back, sore muscles. Got to at least set aside 2, maybe 3 hours to do it. Like, I don't know. Digging it is, I think, yeah, that's the worst part. Filling it in is okay, but you're pretty tired at that point. Anyways, so you're running back, and the rest of you are just kind of tense. The lunch would be finished by the time Darius gets back, and Jenny and Daniel would be setting out bug juice and clay jars of bug juice and clay platters piled high with cucumber sandwiches. The werewolves kind of look at the cucumber sandwiches like, am I a joke to you? They do not seem too interested in any of the fare that is offered, but the two of them really went ham like a couple days ago, and their tummies are still kind of descended from whoever they managed to catch when they were out hunting. So as you guys are just, I guess, quietly vibing in the grove, you hear Darius. Are you running back, or you?
Yeah, he sprints back.
Oh shit. Okay, so I don't think you guys have seen Darius run for anything in a while, if I'm being honest. Because running, I think, takes more emotional engagement than Darius has. But you see Darius run back into the grove.
Wrong, Darius.
He looks around. he looks at the hut. He goes up to the hut. Jenny,
Yes.
has anyone been here recently?
I have a business. She motions to Green Teeth Enchantments. People come and go, yes.
Shit.
Is
Ma-
something the matter?
Max Grave, has anyone been there recently?
I do not know. I have been very busy, and I do not make a point to go see it.
Fuck!
Something has happened.
She's not there. Her body's not there. It's not there. It's not there.
Nothing ever stays dead in Barovia, Darius.
He just sits on the porch and just breathes hard, but just staring forward, thinking. His mind going a million miles per hour.
Irenia whispers to you, Tiernan, and says, "Do you think she is like Anna? Or like the people of Argynvostholt?"
That doesn't seem like Mac to me.
Why would she be gone?
I don't know. Honestly, if she's lucky, it was just animals. But I don't think lucky's very common in this place.
I do not want to cause troubles between my customers, my friends, but the last customers I had was Polenta Opaski of Kissel Ravenloft.
That chick dogs?
Yes, uh, the Hound Mistress of Baphomet. And of course, wife to the Dark Lord. Though that is hardly her greatest achievement.
Me.
I am very sorry, Darius. She seemed like a very kind and simple girl. I did not think that her grave would necessitate any protections. Had I but known, I could have planted some deterrent at least. I feel as if I've
No,
done wrong by you.
no, you're good. You're good. You wouldn't have known. Wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known. There's just clenching and unclenching a fist as he's just kind of looking at the ground. I'll be
Oh,
back.
fine.
And Darius just walks off again.
Does anybody try to go after him?
Anna follows him.
Okay. Alright, Darius, where do you go? Do you just wander, or do you head back to the gravesite?
He just wanders and ooh, This place is kind of dangerous. Theirs is in a state. He just starts punching the ground.
Damn. Okay.
He's laying out some frustration.
All right, Anna, you would kind of witness this, I guess, from a distance.
You should save your energy. We'll find her. I think they are going to do things to ensure that we help. It's what they do.
Yeah, Darius is just gonna sulk there for a while.
Fair. All right, back at the campsite, or not the campsite, but at the grove. The sandwiches are good, but perhaps, given the events that have occurred, not particularly enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Guys have any?
You should try these, Shane. I mean, we got to keep our strength up.
Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Shane, Jenny Greenteeth motions for you to come sit by her. Do you do that or no?
Does it to me?
No, she motions for you to come up to the porch and sit by her. Her body's like, badly deformed, so like getting around is not the easiest thing. Oh.
I can
don't-
hear you.
Okay.
Did we lose
I just,
Shane?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we lost. Maybe they're having like sound issues too, where they think they're coming through, but they're not. Like,
I'm sorry. Was that to me? I
yeah.
can't tell.
That was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry.
to you.
Yeah, I'd go
yeah.
up to her then. Yeah, the
Okay.
game's paused, but yeah, I would move there.
Oh shit. Okay, my bad. Yeah. So as you head up to speak with her, her eyes kind of narrow at the light around you.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he tries to, do the blanket over the
Yeah.
over the sword.
And she says, "You shine very bright now, Jane Maester."
Oh, yeah, it's just this thing. Sorry.
And he kind of awkwardly, shuffles and tries to, cover it better.
What has made you decide to pick up this light?
He kind of whispers just to Jenny on the steps so no one else can really hear.
I've been here a while, and I truly think this place can get better if we, oh, this sounds so hokey. If we actually believe we can make a difference. And I know this group, though they have gone about it in very different ways, I think truly wants to, at least some of us, make the place a little better for the people, a little safer. And if I'm going to make this my home, then I need to step up, actually. And
he looks over at Darius and kind of says
in the direction where they went. I
where he
guess.
would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
Stop being such a complainer, I guess, and actually start doing something.
You can start with strong words. Are you afraid, Shane Master?
I think it would be unwise to say no, and also a little bit of a lie. But despite being afraid, I know what needs to happen, and even if it takes my life, which I imagine it probably will, at least that can serve as a reminder to those that try to oppress this place that they have a fight on their hands.
When all is dark, it is dangerous to be the only light.
Yes, but I have to try. There are things worth saving, things I wish I could have saved, and if I can make a difference now, then maybe I can sleep at night, and maybe it won't be so bad in the morning for everybody. I may not succeed, but at least I will have given everything I had to do so, and maybe that will make a difference.
I have lived a long time, Shane Masters. I have known many heroes. For a hero, happiness cannot last. You suffer for the hope that others might be allowed some small happiness. You understand that, yes?
I do. I think that if somebody had tried to do the same for me when I was younger, maybe things would have been different.
Yes. You run from the ghost of your father, as many do.
It seems no matter how far I run, he's always there because I carry him with me. No matter how much I want to run from it, it's always inside. It's a part of me, and perhaps it's time I face that.
Yes. The others, they have taken into themselves a passenger. But you already had one, didn't you?
Yeah, he kind of smiles, like, in that painful, shy kind of way, like a little kid, embarrassed.
Yeah, I guess I did, didn't I? One that I've had my whole life, but I am done listening to him.
It takes courage and conviction to carry the light in so much much darkness. It is a pleasure to see it every now and again.
I've seen this place break down strong men. I travel with a few of them. And I know how difficult it is to weather such constant spiritual, emotional, and mental abuse. But, well, I guess I'm sort of been training for that my whole life.
Yeah. I suppose you have. And she delicately reaches up with her long, spindly, extra jointed fingers to just very gently brush like a knuckle against your cheek. Do you allow it?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. And she says, your path will be the hardest of all to walk. I wish you well, brave knight. Would you take a lady's favor into battle?
Yes.
Okay. She reaches into her apron and produces some bone shears, and she cuts a lanky, oily piece of her hair. She hands it to you.
Thank you for this favor.
and he will take it, I guess, and kind of looks like, should I like motions like, should I tie it on something? Should I?
Yes. A knight will take a lady's favor onto battle or crusade when things are hard or scary. They look to remember who and what they fight for. Perhaps remembering my beauty will give you the strength. Carry on. Hold the light a little longer in this darkness.
Then may this serve as a reminder of your favor and grace.
And he'll tie it to Dawn's hilt, like
Oh.
the pommel.
Right. She says, I must clean up. You can help or rest. It is for you.
I've done my fair share of tidying. I don't mind.
And yeah, he'll help her clean.
All right. While this is going on, anything from Daniel or Tiernan?
Not much
No,
other than Daniel.
just hanging out.
Daniel's quietly jealous that now Shane is the favorite son.
Oh, you know, there's
Other-
a lot of dishes. You could both. There's a movie called Boss Baby that I think Daniel needs to watch. There's enough Jenny blocks for everybody. So it's a good movie. Just saying, it's a good movie. All right.
Now I just
Then-
see J-Lo playing.
So time passes. During that time, Tiernan, you do hear off in the distance a weird sound. You can give me a nature check. Okay. You don't know what it is. But man, it sounds weird. Actually,
which
give me
direction is it?
give me a history check as well. It seems to be coming from, I would say, the north. Yeah, north of the Grove. And Darius and Anna, you guys went to the west of the Grove. But both of you have terrible perception, so you do not hear this sound. Only the Peter tinkle picks it up.
Guys, there's something there.
All right. You, Irina and Daltos, they just kind of look at you like, shrug. If you pointed out to Daltos, I guess he would try and hear. Okay. His eyes widen, and he says, that is the moose.
Ah, but we don't know what to do with it yet.
Shakes his head. Must make for Toslanka Pass. Yet it feels that so many things laid before you, as if all the world conspires to stop you.
That has always been the problem.
And Taltos gets that troubled look again. That look where he desperately wants to ask you to form a new adventuring party called the Seekers and go do Seeker stuff and not mess around with all this other bullshit. But he doesn't want to, like, overstep.
I know, Taltos.
You know, like the Avengers East Coast and West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Barovia big. You could have two Walking Deads. There could be Walking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead. Or something like that. I don't know. It's a working title. We can figure it out. Alright. Darius, how long do you stay in the woods?
Probably like an hour. That
Okay.
just cool down a little bit.
Yeah. Alright. The afternoon winds on. Is the intention to stay here until evening? I mean, somebody mentioned a book. Like there was talk of a tower. I mean, what's going on?
I mean, if that gets brought up again, Darius would say probably not here.
So
Why
you
not?
think we
It's
should
safe.
wait?
Because we're still outdoors and there's still eyes everywhere. Remember?
She waves her hand at Tiernan.
Yes.
Isn't this the most comfortable place for you?
Not really. The stone,
Yeah.
the stone circles.
You feel that Jenny has corrupted this pure and wild natural place by turning it into a gift shop.
Heresy.
I mean, I wouldn't have used such a strong word for it, but
All right.
Capitalism in Barovia. Come on, that's heresy.
Emil approaches and he says, "Are we staying here the night before heading north? Are you rested enough? You ready for battle?"
There's a tower not that far off from here. That's gonna be
Yes, the tower
that's gonna be our next stop.
is a dangerous place.
It was. Hopefully, it's not.
I was told as a pup to avoid the tower. There were wolves who tried to force their way in. Dragon appeared out of nowhere. Its scales blue like bright water. It breathed lightning bolts from its mouth. Only one wolf escaped with his life. Since then, we've been very cautious of the place.
Oh,
But I take it you have reasons to go there.
we've been there
Zulika would not tell me more.
probably for the best, but yeah, we've been there a few times.
He approaches you, Darius, and he says, "Do not have to treat me as a mushroom. Keep me in the dark and feed me shit. You saved
Not
my life. So, we are allies. I know that she keeps secrets from me to protect me. But there is nowhere safe, and no safe course lie ahead for me. I will not swallow the insult the Dark Lord has laid to me. And I feel," and he stares you right in the eyes, "that you feel the same way. This is all pageantry. I think we know that the path forward, the blood and death and violence and retribution of the most vile sort. There will be no happy ending for anyone. It would be best for me to know all that is known, that I not be caught a fool unaware ever again." And I mean, Zaluka's acting like she's not eavesdropping on the conversation, but you see her over his shoulder, definitely eavesdropping on the conversation.
Trust me when I say, when we get to the tower, we're gonna talk about everything. Everything.
The tower is close. Why do we not just go now? There is a presence here in this grove that is distasteful. And it is not just the handsome boy with the glowing sword.
Well,
We
if we're,
could make the tower in a couple of hours before the sun sets.
then if we're good, then we should go.
What say you, Alpha? And he turns and he looks at Anna.
She nods, starts walking towards the direction of the tower. Probably the wrong way until someone points her the right way.
I mean, give me a survival check, Anna. I mean, you live in a D20 world. It could happen. Okay. So, yeah, Anna starts heading back towards Valakai. But, you know, it's not all the way opposite direction. All right. So Jenny says, "Do you want to browse my wares before you head out?"
Uh, yeah, we got some silver.
Well, Shane ain't got no money.
Yeah, feel free to use what's in the wagon. Feel free.
And if you guys have herbs, definitely buy those herbs off of you. If you
Oh,
guys
that we do.
Oh yeah, sell her all our damn herbs.
We do have actually a few things you might be interested in. And I assume somebody has identified these. We have some.
Yeah, despite all my efforts to make like a cool crafting system, the pacing and narrative of this campaign has not been kind to having a crafting system. So I've since just got to switch to like, you guys find X GP worth of herbs and stuff. Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
holds out the bark, the elm bark, the elven willow, the gargoyles lichen, I think that's
Grounder
it.
seeds.
Oh, and the grounder seeds as well.
And
Okay.
Yeah, we're keeping the wolf's bane.
Ari?
I'll hang on to some wolves. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll convert it, and then if you guys want to buy stuff, just let me know. We're sitting on 150 right now.
150 in herbs. Okay. She'll give
150
you.
in gold. I haven't sold the herbs
Oh,
yet.
okay, okay. She will give you guys a 20% bonus on herbs because she sees that you guys are down bad and she could always use herbs.
Do we need a ton of Wolfsbane?
No, we don't need any anymore.
Ah,
Yeah,
Anna
we
carries
can
a couple on her.
adjust to the amount. Yeah, I think probably like 2 or 3 per person is fine, and none for Daniel.
So let's say we just keep 10, we sell 5.
I think that should be fine.
And she's buying at what?
The
Usually-
listed value plus
usually-
another 20%.
Oh, it's a listed value. Okay.
Yeah, she'll pay the listed value plus a 20% bonus.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the best herbalist in the world, and she needs herbs, and
Yeah.
she likes you guys, and you know you're down bad. So,
Daniel, how you doing on leeches? Do you need more?
Oh.
but because of the pact she made with capitalism, she can't just give you guys items. You know, you have to do some buying and selling. I think honestly, capitalism is the corrupt evolution of just the Feywild way of doing things. You know. Reciprocity, you never give something away for free, kind of deal. Like you always give back if you've been given. I mean, this is just the natural progression of that.
Daniel has 6 leeches, by the way.
I mean, is that just a brag, or are you offering to sell them?
Oh no, I was asked how many I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have context to know if that's enough. So,
Well, how many times are we going to need lesser restoration in this campaign?
Probably should buy some more then.
yeah.
Maybe get you up to a plus 10.
I'm trying to look and see if there's any substance I can coat my weapon, like my bullets with, but I don't think there really is.
Well, I mean, it's pricey, but alchemical silver can do 3 pieces of ammunition. Yeah.
You know, knowing that we may fight some werewolves, that might not be a bad idea. Getting a couple
But
of
I
those.
thought they sold silver
They
bullets.
do sell
in
silver
Kresik.
bullets in
Yeah.
Kresik. Yeah, they do have those there.
Yeah.
I think they're also expensive, but that's probably a better idea. I don't know when we're getting back there though, but you know, I think Shane's good.
Well, I guess. Oh, see, now that we're kind of talking about it, I was thinking after the tower we go to Kresik, talk with the Kreskovs that we're going to be going up north to get their support because their son's there. So
Yeah, well then, yeah, not a bad idea then.
they would definitely be down to throw down if they know that we're going there.
Thank you, Jenny, for everything.
Of course. I hope I see you again.
As do I.
And he will reward her with a cheek flex on the way out.
Oh. Okay.
Bye, Jenny. He kind of sits there. He kind of stands there, like rubbing his foot into the ground, like hands in his pockets, like bye.
Okay. Oh, I see where you're going with this. She approaches you, Daniel.
Yep.
She kind of stumps over to you, and she says, Daniel, do you know what it is that you fight for? Hmm? Have you figured that out yet?
Kind of rubs his eyes like I'm still working on that. But he looks out on the party and over at Meal and Zuluka and says, well, at least now I'm not fighting alone. Oh, and
That is true.
that feels like something.
Ah, well, Daniel, good luck. You have spread yourself thin, and often the thinnest things break the easiest. You would be wise to figure out what you fight for before you spread yourself to nothing.
All Daniel can think of is Bilbo Baggins' butter over too much bread. He
Oh
hugs her.
yeah. All right. Yeah, she cocoons you in her long, extra jointed arms and hands. She smells of yeasty bread and wet soil and pine needles. When she lets you go, you feel in your heart this might be the last time you ever see her.
He walks down, doesn't look back.
All right. Okay. Do you guys want to fast travel the couple of hours there, or do you want to roll for random encounters like the good old days?
I mean, we have this spanking brand new system. Why not?
Okay. Let's see. The journey, I believe, is only a couple of hours, so I would just need one check from one person. Since it's only one check, though, I would like this one check to be a survival check. So is there anyone willing to make such a check for me on this 7-mile journey through the woods?
I'm pretty good at survival.
I'm at a
Yeah.
+8.
Oh, you're
Ooh.
one better than me. Take it.
But whose dice rolls are... Oh, see.
Before
All right.
we finish that sentence.
Anyways, so you needed a 15 minimum before we rolled for the weather, and you got a 12. So you needed a 17. You got a 12. So it is actually going to be a bane. So let me see what happens. But hey, it beats running into, like, I don't know, a world boss or something. That'd be pretty bad. Let's see. Give me a D100. I'll just take the first one I see in chat. All right. 50. Oh. Okay. Now, I checked with you guys last week about Thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's waiting for you guys at the tower.
Yep.
Got
Right.
it.
He's with
Okay.
Derek then.
All right. Oof, what an encounter. What an encounter. What am I supposed to do with this? Jesus Christ. All right, give me a second. So some of the complications or the boons or the banes are
Encounters.
Yes. Yeah, some of them are encounters. I'm trying to think what the best way to do this would be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. So, on your way there, as you guys reach the road, so as you exit the woods and you reach the road, and now you just got to walk down the road to the causeway, which leads to the tower. Passing by is a carriage. The carriage is pulled by two dark horses, and the carriage slows, seeing the party kind of up ahead, in the road. Big bandit vibes, right? You can see that the driver is a man, air quotes, in full plates. You are familiar with these sorts of carriages, having, experience with Castle Ravenloft. And the carriage stops, the driver looks at you guys, its face, or his face, hidden in the shadows of the helm, and just kind of stares at you. The horses also stare at you. They have an unnatural presence to them, as the horses you've met from Castle Ravenloft tend to do. They just seem like they're always at the edge of like panic or going berserk. There's just like this tension to them all the time, and this like lather is always built up on their skin, and foam around the mouths. Their eyes are always wild. Tiernan, with your incredible perception, you hear a voice, a woman's voice from inside, say, "Driver, is there some blockage in the road?" And you are pretty sure, that is the voice of Ludmilla Villasevic.
Nice.
Yeah, and it should be mentioned that the carriage is heading west, which is away from Castle Ravenloft, towards Krezk, ? You hear a voice that sounds somewhat disembodied inside the armor say, "Milady, it's well, I'm pretty sure it's the Walking Dead, ma'am." And then there is quiet, and then the voice inside the carriage says, "Oh, well, it wouldn't do for me to be seen this time of day. Is one of them willing to come in and speak with me?" The skeleton turns, because it doesn't think that you guys can hear her, and it says, "Oi! First of all, you don't know he's a skeleton. Oh, I'm such a bad dungeon master. The disembodied voice in the armor
What?
says,
We only hear the wind chimes?
he said he might collect wind chimes, you don't know. With a xylophone rattling noise, he turns to face you and he says, "Oi! Walking Dead, yeah?
Yes.
Milady, Ludmilla Villasevic, bride of Strahd von Zarovich, wishes to make palaver with a representative of your order before we move on."
You okay there, Daniel? Do you want one of us to take this?
Because that was the one that used to torture you, right?
Yeah, Daniel's blood drops to 0, and he says nothing. His jaws clenched so tight.
Anna, do you want to take this? Or?
I don't deal with mosquitoes, Tiernan. If you want to.
Okay.
And Shane will just try to comfort Daniel.
Darius will walk up to the carriage.
Yeah, Tiernan will walk up with him.
Okay. All right, so the two of you approach, and the skeleton says, "Oh, she said just one." And then you hear from a woman's voice, say, "Oh, I'm sure it'll be all right."
Yeah, it sounded to me more like she meant like any one of them, not like specifically one.
And the door opens. The interior is shadowy, but you do see Ludmilla in there, deep in the shadows.
Darius will climb in.
Tiernan too.
All right. As you guys climb in, she says, "Well, it's the two big boys. You've made it a long way. A long way from home, and a long way through Barovia."
That's right.
Oh,
Dare to
well,
ask why.
I heard I missed you at dinner the other night. Is that true?
Yeah, we were meeting with your husbands again.
Mm. How did that go? I'm ever so sorry. I've been so busy. Many things are happening. Valakai is trying to recover from a terrible mishap. A little civil war, I guess, and then, you know, the situation with the Valley of Barovia. It's my understanding that things will be on the mend moving forward. I'd love to go help myself, but I have some things I have to attend to.
What brings you all the way out here?
Ooh, I have to check in on some things. It's awful far to travel. That's why when I heard you were on the road, I thought I would break up the monotony of my journey with a quick conversation, a little palaver. I hope that's all right.
Darius will look to Tiernan.
Sure. I don't think you need permission from us to do whatever you want for the most part.
Oh, I think you know better than that. You've grown. You're not just some playthings anymore. Even Daniel. Your pieces on the board. You're a part of this now. As she says that, you feel,
Yeah,
yeah,
the death house.
yeah. Why, I'd imagine my hubby, well, if I were to bite your tender neck or your scaly throat, I would get admonished. You're very special to him now.
He does seem to want us to be somewhat apart for the moment.
Feel the same thing would happen if we were to snap your neck.
I would hope so.
Would that?
I
don't even
work
think that would
very
work.
hard to stay in his good graces. I understand he propositioned you about his, well,
Condition.
I never thought of it like that, but I suppose he plans to try and leave us all behind. I have to say, it hurts my heart to know he would give us all up in an instant if he could. That we're just a plaything, a distraction in the end. He's never asked us to help him with this condition. Though my research tells me that, as bearers of his blood, we are bound by the same curse, and therefore can't hope to break it.
That's what he was saying at breakfast. That everything he's tried so far ain't work. Only outsiders can actually help him. So that's why he's so keen on us.
Just so. She stares intently at both of you and says, is that what you want? To set him free? He's a terrible man. A monster. You would loose him out in the world? The world's your world?
I don't know about him, but I know that things that go around usually come around to people. So if he gets free, well, maybe the world will take care of him.
I see. You think that he's gotten too comfortable being the biggest fish in this little shadowy pond, and he might be bigger than his britches when he gets back out into the world proper.
Just shrugs.
From what I understand, there isn't a world proper. There's multitude of worlds.
Just so. Why, even your little Shane Masters ain't from the same Earth that you're from.
That's what we thought.
I guess my question is, does it even matter if there's so many worlds and so many of you? Does any of it really matter? I struggled with that since becoming a vampire. Finding a purpose, finding a meaning in things. I thought the study of magic might help, but it only made things worse. To find out that not only am I gonna live forever, but I'm not really gonna matter the whole damn time. Makes it hard to get up at night.
Theory
Unless you
question.
find something that matters.
Theory question.
Mm.
If something was to happen to him, what happens to y'all?
Well, we are freed from his control. We become our own masters. That sort of freedom is mighty valuable, I would imagine. Why don't I, I do have business I need to be getting on to, and I'm sure you do as well. I know you all like to stay busy. Why don't you, yes, a moment. and she kind of rifles through like a messenger bag, and she produces some paper. 3 sheets of this paper she gives to you, and she says, "If you ever need to talk, just write me a little letter. Fold it up real nice into some kind of flying thing, and it'll find its way to me."
Let's see. I guess we've taken enough of your time. Oh, you keep in
Hmm?
touch with Valenta?
Oh, not recently, no. Why, if I didn't already have my own business I needed to attend to, I would be in the valley right now, helping with those relief efforts. But don't worry, you can tell the Rose of the Valley that they're in real good hands. Anastasia is so excited to help out.
Just look at Tiernan.
Yes, thank you for the update.
Of course. Well, now, why don't you get going? I know that your boss lady don't like to waste no time on mosquitoes.
Darius will exit the carriage.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So the carriage, yeah, yeah, and then it rides off, leaving you guys there on the road with about 1 hour left to walk to the tower.
I promise you, Daniel, she won't ever get a hold of you again.
And you'll just watch as the wagon ride off, just that 1,000-yard stare.
Mm.
Should keep going. We'll talk when we get to the tower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys would then reach the tower. I'll add these paper birds to your inventory, Darius. All right, cool. I'll bring you guys over to that map. Let's change this map. Okay. Yeah, okay, this will work. Okay. Let's see. So, the tower. Mm, all right. When you reach the tower, there is no crazy conflict or battle waiting for you. Just the tower. All right.
Shayna looks and, you know, almost hoping to see, you know, Ez there, but knowing that
Aw.
that's too, yeah, not gonna happen.
Yeah. I guess Van Richten would open the windows and kind of look down and see you guys, and he would motion for you to come to the tower. And do you guys head in?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Let's go see Rapunzel.
Okay. Set this at. All right. Okay. Emil, you can't just go randomly turn into a wolf all the time, dude. Okay. So when you guys arrive, you take the clay golem elevator up to the top floor. It is very small and cramped up there, but Emil insists on going because he wants to know what the fuck is going on, which I feel is fair. And Zaluka doesn't want to leave him unsupervised. Taltos is incredibly curious. So I guess you guys are just going to be really crowded up there. When you arrive, Van Richten turns away from his desk and his studies, and he says, what does he say? Hold on. Okay, he says, you've returned. Then what do you have to show me? What you have to tell me? What's news? What progress?
Darius will just motion to the tower. Everything's still good with this place?
To the best of my knowledge, yes. The tower remains impenetrable to detection and outside the magic.
And then just looks at Emil. It's like, yeah, that's the reason why we wouldn't come here. What we learned, Dark Lord's always watching, listening, all that stuff. Apparently this place, he can't do that.
So Emil says, I had heard when his name was spoken, he could listen and see. And that was not just rumor and speculation.
As far as we know, it's true. Things will leave it at that. Anywho, we were at the castle a couple of days ago, looking at Van Richten.
And how did that go?
I guess at this point it would just be.
Did you find what the Taroka told you to find?
We found one.
That is good. That is probably why you came here.
Mhm.
Well, should we get to it, or is there more to say?
As you can see, we found her husband.
I see.
That should help us with our problem to the north.
It will help with a problem to the north, yes. And if it is what the cards have told you to do, then it is meant to be.
Unit, would you show him?
He reaches in his bag, pulls out the book.
I see. It is locked. Has anyone opened it yet?
We wanted to wait until we were somewhere at least safer, if not safe.
Yes. This tower would be the best place to open such a book in case there are explosive runes. Or some damning curse. Unless, of course, it is a spell book of Exanther, then, well...
That's actually the thing.
Oh, yes. Books are very dangerous. I made a play at retirement once. It did not stick. But a good friend of mine, she ran a rare bookstore. I would offer my services in exchange for first access to the rare tomes. And there were a great many books that came in ensorcelled. Some even contained spirits that would try to possess the reader. Some to pull you inside, trap you in the world within the words. You are wise not to open the book. You are learning.
I once heard tell of a group of adventurers who had so many problems with books in a short amount of time that some of their numbers swore off books for all eternity.
This is, yes, I don't know specifically of whom you speak, but it is a practice among many adventuring companies to just never open books. Just throw it in the bag, sell it later. Of course, in any group with a wizard, it is hard to state their curiosity, you might say. Well, let's get to it. Would anyone like the honors of picking the lock?
I feel like everyone's looking at me.
Yeah, it's you or me, buddy.
Oh, yes, yes. One last thing. Esmeralda, she wishes you luck on your path.
Is she well?
I hope so. She and the young woman, Isabella, they came by to say goodbye. Ez is not very powerful in the Vistani ways of path walking, but she manages. I am a selfish old man, for I feel a great deal of relief that she has left and called off this mad quest. For I fear that any who walk any further walk only to their deaths. Or worse. He gives you sort of a pained smile. Now about that lock.
Daniel, with Shane's help, will take it and put it on the table over here. You're pushing aside the Book of Desires and making a mental note about later.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the lock and see what we can do.
Right. It do seem to be a very good lock. You're looking at like a DC 25 to get this bad boy open.
Shit, okay.
So, for people of your caliber, come on now. So sleight of hand to pick this bad boy open.
So Shane's proficient, so that give him advantage.
If you're both proficient, yeah, you guys are buddying up on it.
And can I add my Faxpiration to his roll?
No, the person rolling gets the use of Faxpiration. Yep.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I can help you. I mean, although Daniel does have expertise, but it probably comes about the same.
Oh, I'm only at a +9, so.
Okay. Oh, I got a +8, so yeah.
Okay.
Daniel will defer.
Daniel is a rogue, but does not have the best dexterity. But he get by. Yeah.
All right, then I will roll with advantage and then add the Faxpo if needed, or do I need to use it before? I forget.
Faxpo, you can do a reroll. Since you already have advantage, you might want to save the. Sorry, an inspiration allows a reroll. The Faxpo you can roll after the fact. So you're gonna crack this thing open. I have no doubt. All right, let's get sleight of hand. All right, well, my doubts are still a little present. You got 21. Do you want
Oh,
to?
yes, I will roll the d8.
All right, then you need to get a 4 or higher.
Oof. Okay. That's doable. Although, historically, we know how this goes.
Hey,
Oh!
crushed it. All right. It takes some time, certainly more than 6 imaginary seconds. But the two of you do manage to unlock the book. What is revealed to you is a bunch of nonsense script. Unlike the many words and written text that you have seen in books and signs, on menus, etc., that they seem like a strange, squirming alphabet that eventually rearranges itself for your eyes. This does not.
We had
Rudolph,
that.
Rudolph looks over your shoulders and says, it is encrypted.
Out of sheer itty bitty minuscule chance
Yeah.
that some old book in weird language that I think Reed probably picked up way back in the day. Will that help unencrypt or decrypt the code?
Unlikely. That was you were learning to speak a language from that book.
Yeah.
This is actually written in a code, so it's gonna be
Okay.
it's gonna be some time, you imagine, to kind of crack it, figure out what's happening here. So, yeah, I mean, without going too meta, Dr. Rudolph Van Richten will look at you for permission to touch the book.
Yeah, Shane will step aside.
Okay. And he will begin to slowly and carefully begin flipping through the pages. And he says, yes, this is written in a cipher. There is the main text. And you can see, he kind of flips through the book, that it is written sometimes very far apart from each other, these entries. It is a cipher that must be broken. There are notes in the margin in places, whether they are footnotes or they are meant to guide in the deciphering. I am unsure. But this is complex work. We could attempt magic on the book and force it to reveal its secrets, but we would have to do so outside of the tower's protection. If we do it the old-fashioned way, well, we will be here for a long time. Several days, I believe, if my estimations are correct. Do you have that sort of time? Before anyone can answer, Emil says, no! We have to go liberate the wolves of the north. We don't have time for books.
Silence. We do.
He turns and looks at you. His eyes narrow.
She stares him down.
All right, give me an intimidation. Ooh, all right. As you stare him down and he stares you down, you see that everything that he has gone through has either made him too foolish to be afraid of you or too hardened to be afraid of you. He does not seem moved one way or the other. But Zaluka says, Emil, Mother Night sent me a vision. These people will help us. A few more days is as nothing.
Since
And
we're
as
here,
the two, yeah.
since
Oh,
we're
yeah.
here, may as well say it. like I said back in the Grove, since this place can't hear us or whatever, Darius will take out the notebook and kind of flip over. We talked with the Vistani way back. There was a seer, and she said that there's certain things that we have to do. Your wife was one of them.
A seer told you to do my wife?
No, not like that, man.
It was you, wasn't it? He points at you, Daniel.
Calm down, dude.
So Lucas says, no, I've not bred with any of these men or women. That's not what they meant. Emil, your head is always thinking of sex. They had a vision like I had a vision. Theirs from the Vistani Seer, mine from Mother Night. Two different forces working together. Do you not see how powerful that is? And being admonished by his woman in front of everybody, making him a little upset. He looks like at any moment he might slap somebody.
He does have an Ike Turner vibe going on.
He
That is
says,
probably too old a reference.
no, I got it.
No,
I got
no,
it. Ninth grade Spanish, my teacher gave up halfway through the year, so we just watched movies every day in Spanish. One of the movies was What's Love Got to Do with It? Left a mark. Left a mark. American public school system, baby. All right. Emil goes and sits on this man's bed, right on his pillow, like canines do, and looks angry and defeated.
Good boy.
All right, when you say that, he rises up again, and he says, I will not be insulted by this bitch any longer.
Hold it.
You said 3 days? I will be back in 3 days.
Emil, are you so fragile that the words of a bitch hurt you?
He hangs from the chains as he goes down, and he says, I have seen those like you before, who hurt and control with their words. Hero is much like you. I go to get fresh air and to hunt. And he just sort of like leap, grab down the elevator chains, and you hear the front door slam.
Shane will look at Zaluka. Is he going to be an issue?
An issue?
You really want him in control of the pack?
She just looks so confused. She says, it is his right.
You strike me as more an alpha than him.
Wait, what
Wise
do you
words,
mean he's
Shane.
right? I thought it was decided by strength.
It is decided by strength. And he was the strongest. There's no way Kirill could have beat him in a fair fight. And her whole body's kind of shaking with like frustration and anger. He will not speak of what happened. Only that the Dark Lord humiliated him.
It's possible they made a deal.
Yes, Kirill and the Dark Lord made the deal, yes?
I'm talking about Emil.
What? Are you saying that Emil made a deal with the Dark Lord after being locked in his dungeons?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't be the first time either.
Yeah.
And he looks at Shane and Daniel.
Yep. It seems he would want to do anything to escape, get back to you, take over the pack. And he doesn't really seem in control of his emotions at all.
He never has been. He is a wild beast. The curse is strong in him. The blessings of Mother Night.
You seem just as equally blessed, but you have strategy, cunning. That's what the pack needs to thrive.
I mean, you guys can attempt a persuasion check as a group. One of you can kind of like, if you're all on board for this, one of you can kind of push the issue, and it may or may not influence her actions and decisions moving forward.
And I'll do it.
Okay.
She'll use heroic flair if it applies.
Sure.
In case it doesn't, I'll use a DM inspiration on it.
Well, I feel like this is worth one of the inspirations.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use a fanspo then. You want me to use it on the initial roll or use it on the secondary one if needed?
I think so. I think you use your inspiration to get advantage, and then determine whether it's good or not. You could use fact. You could use the other one to.
Well, you can't.
But they're named different, Crash.
But you can't roll the same die more than twice, right? You can't re-roll a third time. It's always been like that in my games. You can't re-roll a die a third time.
Right, but could we advantage the first one and then re-roll?
No, you have to choose if you can get yourselves advantage beforehand. But I'm giving you advantage already because all of you are presenting a united front. But she is so opposed to this idea that it is imposing disadvantage. So the best you have right now going into it is a straight roll. So you'd have to use it for advantage. Well, you'd use it for a reroll essentially because you can't get advantage from this because she just does not like that idea.
Any amount of disadvantage cancel out.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, you rolled an 18, which is pretty good. I don't know if you want to keep it or you want to re-roll, but if you re-roll, you got to keep the re-roll.
Do we have anything we could add to that? Also, can you add Faxpiration to other people's die rolls?
Oh, we just want to.
No, we covered that.
It has to be the person. Yeah, it has to be the person who rolled the.
A lot of my stuff is magic, and it's not going to work up here.
I mean, 18's not bad. An 18's not bad, but 18, I think you know in your heart that an 18 is probably not enough to completely turn her around on this idea. But it's certainly not so low that she'd be angry at the idea. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes things are more than just one check.
It's enough to it's enough to seed it.
Yeah, plant seed. Yeah.
Okay. Do you let it ride then with 18?
I'm fine with that.
Oh, okay. She says, "You've given me a lot to think about." And then she goes and she just climbs into this like window box and just kind of stares out the window. And Thought says, "Oi, hey, this book ain't gonna decipher itself, huh? Is anybody gonna? Hey, you nerds."
I missed you. I missed you, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know if you got the brains for this, Tiernan.
No, you're right. I just missed you. It was unrelated to what you were saying.
I miss you too, mate. I miss you too. Yeah, it's good to see you still kicking around. You got your little redhead Sheila. It's nice. Yeah, I really didn't think you were gonna make it on account of all of that.
What, stabbing myself in the heart with a dagger?
Oh, it's, I mean, that's just the surface of it all, I suppose. Alright. Van Richten informs you that this is going to be a series of nerd checks. Primary amongst them is going to be investigation, which is probably back on your character sheets now, with all the changes that have come and gone. And then history could be subbed for investigation because, reading books and details and shit like that. Essentially, he would appreciate help. If you only rely on Van Richten to do this, it will take the maximum amount of time to decipher. If you guys assist, it can go faster.
If we
Anna-
assist and we're not helpful, will it go beyond? Will it go beyond the maximum, or is the maximum like actually maximum?
Well, here's the thing. If you were doing this without Van Richten, you could actually just not be able to do it. Like, you could just reach a point where you just can't go any further. He's one of the only NPCs in the world that could provide a slow but automatic success to deciphering this book.
We're the best.
If this place is protected, we could leave the
so-
book with him.
I was gonna say, yeah. Next question: do we leave the book with him to decipher while we deal with the werewolf thing, and then stop back here?
Yo, I want that
Yeah.
level up, man.
I mean,
what the fuck y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Why are we leaving? It's right here. Why are we leaving?
the only reason we wouldn't want to do that is if we're worried about Emil running off and doing something reckless while it's happening. But surely the chaotic evil werewolf, who was noted for not ever having been in control of his emotions, wouldn't do something like that.
Oh,
That
for
would
sure.
That would be
Yeah.
insane.
OOC meta. You bring up some very good points. I am but the narrator and the game engine, so I will just wait to see what you guys decide. If you want to make your own poll, I think you guys have permission to do that by hitting the P button. Yeah.
Well, I know I ain't gonna be helping deciphering this thing, so Darius was just gonna leave and go out hunting because
Yeah, I mean, I'm
that
at
requirement.
I'm at a flat on any of these checks. Like, I'm not proficient in any of this.
Anna's
Same.
your academic in this group.
Which is hilarious. The maid is our academic.
Oh, wow. There's some
Dang.
classist judgment.
Maybe you should go outside, Kiernan.
Yeah. The maid, that helped.
No, okay, look, this is like a 16th century equivalent maid. Like there wasn't.
Maybe she was
academics
reading
going
books
on
in
there.
secret, like one of them Jane Austen novels. You know what I'm
The
saying?
maid who would be queen. That sounds like a book.
Oh, I would read that.
That's a Jane Austen book for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
All
one of
right,
those
then
rare-
Anna, will you be assisting?
Yeah, the two things she brings is she's trained in history,
Okay.
and she doesn't need to sleep.
Nice.
Really? Daniel doesn't have history?
Not everybody pays attention in school.
Oh my lord.
American school system.
All right. So I guess I'll throw up a poll and see if you guys, what you guys want to do. That way, if something bad happens, you guys can be like, listen, I voted. You know, that's another really American thing to do. So here we go. What about the book?
I'll frame this for you guys very simply. Level versus Emil.
Stay here
Well,
till
which is also a level. So, like, if we lose a meal, then we lose that level. So it's whether we want to deal with the werewolves at level 9 or whether we want to deal with the werewolves at level 10, with it possibly being more difficult because Emil ran off.
Okay. In that case, here, I'll put some extras. Opinion. If we lose a meal, we fail werewolves. And then we'll add this to really shake things up. Oh no, opinion, not option. All right, opinion. All right, so let's see, multiple votes, blah, 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 and create. See? I'm viewing both sides of the issue.
And where's the Amber Temple option? It's always there.
Just
fuck
forget it all
Fuck
and
it. We go to
the
Amber Temple. Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to fuck it. We go to Mitros option also.
Always. How many times is too many times to Mitros? There's no wrong answer.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah. Let's see.
I legitimately don't know which to do. I am of the opinion of the last two, but I don't know which of the top ones to do.
What if we just went to Kresik and back? Would that be enough time?
What's in Kresik?
Nothing. We just like it. It's on
I feel-
Mitros.
In my experience, when people go to Kresik or Valakai, they get mad at me because they end up with more hard decisions they have to make.
I mean, the only other thing, and I mean, I guess we could do it now, Kresik, but just informing the Burgomaster and his wife that we're going to go do the moves next, and hopefully get them geared up before we make that whole trip, assault, whatever the fuck it's going to end up being. So I guess we could go there, get them time to prep, and then we come back to the tower when this whole thing's done.
We haven't opened the book. We haven't talked about the book.
Oh, the book's open on the table.
Well, right, but before we got here, we hadn't opened the book. We hadn't talked about the book. Van Richten's been alone in this tower by himself this entire time. Feel like it should, italicized in quotes, be safe here. Probably. Maybe.
Okay.
I will throw some I'm gonna throw some paranoia at you because I think about this often.
There should be an actor now called Daybreak. I'll make sure you guys all have access to it.
I'm assuming that Anna's getting watched constantly by Strahd.
What?
Just because of the stuff.
You would be making those wisdom saving throws, Anna, against scrying.
Oh, please.
Anna, seriously. If the dude was scrying on you, I think you would know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like he knows you personally, has personal effects from you, and also has a piece of your skin or hair or something like that, making the DC of this somewhere in the 40s. I mean, there's no way, right? Like, just throwing that out there. Counter argument, you might say. Keep going.
Okay, so when he sees her go up in here and he can't see her, what's stopping him from just coming here and then figuring out everything that's going on, and then it's all poof gone?
All right,
I mean, we've come here multiple times.
Let's say that is.
It's different now. It's different now.
Let's say that is happening. Let's say he shows up while we're here reading the book. How is that better?
Campaign's over.
I
mean, final stand in a no magic zone. That's but
that's true. This is yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the final stand, right? Because he would just reform, but it would be a final stand.
You guys really want to go rescue him? We can go.
Oh no, I think everybody but me voted for the book.
I haven't looked at the results. Oh.
Oh yeah, I guess I should look at the results. Let's see. Scroll.
It's just so persuasive.
Stay here and read the book. Don't want to lose the book. Okay? Alrighty. In that case, Increasing DCs, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Oh my god. All right. So, here we go. How it works is every day, you can attempt 3 checks in a 24-hour period to try and decipher parts of the book. That's how locked down this shit is. This is why in the 5th age of magic everybody just uses comprehend languages and shit. Let's see. Though Van Richten does warn Van Richten does warn that many wizards will have a contingency spell like rune in the book that if you comprehend language the book, it will trigger the contingency and cause some bad shit to happen. Most frequently is emoliating the book or teleporting the book away. If the person that made the book is of sufficient power, he can't actually confirm or deny that the book is even magical because you guys are in the tower right now.
Thank God.
Yeah. But he gets a sense when he's handling the book that there is power to it. There is a power to this book. Whether that is just his like a hunch, as you know, a professional solo adventurer.
You can detect milestones.
Yeah, he's done a lot of really badass shit, detailed in some novels. You know, he has his own source book, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. You know, no big deal. Anyways, he's just doing a little name dropping real quick. Yeah. So he definitely feels like, this is a significant item. Significant item. All right. Does Anna voice those concerns about the scrying, or is that like an OOC thing? Is she smart? You know, like not like by
in this group, yeah.
by fifth edition standards. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know how you view wisdom versus intelligence, right? Like a lot of people say that high intelligence, low wisdom is all of the Spider-Man villains, right? They were doctors who did really unwise things. And then people say that high wisdom, low intelligence is Forrest Gump, right? Like you're basically a prophet, but you're just not very smart. Low IQ kind of deal. Like you have emotional intelligence and you have good instincts, but you are just dumb. So I don't know what medium intelligence and low wisdom means to Anna. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know she's been through some stuff and has seen some things, so I think she would voice it.
Right.
Or she'd at least go, "I'm important enough that of course he's watching me."
Okay, that would actually make Van Richten nervous enough that he would say, if this book came from the castle and you brought it here, you never took the book out, correct? There was not a moment where you were impatient and you demanded to see the book and you pulled it out?
I tried, but Tiernan had an iron grip on it the entire time.
Oh, Tiernan, he looks at you like, thank goodness. Oh my god, bro. Damn. It just gives you a look like, oh, you might have saved all our lives. And then he says, obviously then, if you feel that you are of interest and he is watching you, then he would know you're here, but perhaps not why. He has sent his bullies here before. They are afraid to enter. If he wanted you dead, you would not be here now. I find it hard to believe that he would let you in his castle unsupervised. With this knowledge, we must consider that he knows you have the book and will plan to read it, even if he did not see. It is said that his castle is like a living thing. Would you say this is true?
Yes.
I would agree.
Yeah.
then would it be fair to assume that he would know of your activities in the castle?
Yeah, most
Yeah.
likely.
It depends. Like even if the castle is like his body, are you aware of everything that's happening in every part of your body at all times?
If there is if there is a mouse in my clothes, yes, I am very aware of it, no matter where it goes.
Well,
So I'm
that-
not sure how up to date on germ theory you are, Van Richten, but there are things smaller than mice all over you, all of the time.
You are germ to him, you think? Or you are a mouse?
probably more like snakes.
Oh.
What was it you
I
said?
would-
He said it
I would pay close attention if I had snake in my boots.
I mean, the night that we were there, what did he say? The castle was playful, and we experienced a whole bunch of shit while we were just walking around doing stuff. So, pretty sure he knows. If we leave the book with you, you would be able to decipher it. And we come back, would you be able to tell us what's in it?
He looks a bit embarrassed and he says, I prefer to work alone, but I have concerns. I would not ask you to stay if you must go. I will work with thought. If you return here and I am gone, hopefully thought will find you and tell you whatever it is we discover. I do not want to make you worry. This is just in case.
I think we should stay, Darius.
So Lucas says, I know my letters, but I won't be any help to you. I will keep a meal close at hand. You will tell us when you're ready to leave. And she just leaps down the fucking elevator shaft because werewolves don't take falling damage.
That was so fun as a were-rat. Just being able to fucking fall forever and not, like, it not matter.
The fifth age of magic truly is a wonder. Yeah.
Where creatures land on their feet.
Okay.
Alright. So we may as well stay.
From below, as Lucas says, Darius, you're stupid! Just come hunt with us.
Thanks for calling me out. Darius will go down the chains.
I was being a good friend. Everyone knows you're stupid. All right, so you guys roll out to do some hunting, and then during this time, Taltos does ask Rudolph Van Richten if he has any notes or knowledge about the Seeker that or the Fanes that he would be allowed to look at. And Rudolph looks at this kid appraisingly, and he sees that he's got some pretty bright eyes, especially for a divine caster in the fifth age of magic. And he nods and he goes and he gets him the stuff he's been working on.
Nice.
All right, what about the rest of you?
Yeah, so knowing that Shane's no help to this, and Daniel probably isn't either, he pulls out his deck of playing cards and just looks at Daniel and says, "Want to play?" And he looks at Irina and Tiernan. Could always play spades or something.
She shrugs and she says, I was going to volunteer to help in the doctor. I can run and grab things they need, and if either of them gets tired, I could take over for a bit and let them rest their eyes.
Sure.
She approaches cautiously and says, "Is that all right, Daniel?"
She ignores her.
Cards would have been better.
She kind of like stares at Anna, like just unsure what to fucking do. And then she just shrugs and she says, "All right, let's play cards." All right. So, Rudolph Enrichten is a pretty tough dude, and he is an expert at investigation, and he's pretty smart. Not as smart as he thinks he is, but pretty smart. So he's got a decent investigation, but there are going to be a few parts of this book that even he, without juicing, will be unable to reach the DCs for. So I have a document for you guys called Daybreak, Tome of Strahd. That's right. This is the Tome of Strahd. In case you, sorry about that spoiler. What the crazy? So I'll post this into the resources channel, and as it is translated, more and more of it will appear in this Google document. If you successfully translate the majority of the book, not only will you get a milestone, but you can then go and read or listen to Strahd, the novel, which is pretty much what this book is. If you've already listened to it, shame on you. But yeah, from that point, you would have a working knowledge then of that fine and entertaining read, which it's on Audible. It's pretty good. The book is, for I think most of the people on our server, like an afternoon read. Y'all read really fast. All right, so let's see. Would it be under treasures? Feels like it would be a treasure. All right, we'll put it under treasure. All right, strap in for some lore, kids. It's lore time. I feel so bad because only one of my groups has actually read this book, and knowing what's going on it makes a big difference, I think, to any campaign. And I listen to these like DM advice videos where they're like, "You shouldn't leave your players in the dark. They need to know what's going on." And I'm like, "But the campaign, it says I'm not supposed to."
I mean, the players need to be the ones to follow up on that stuff. Like,
right.
otherwise, you're just holding our hand the whole damn time.
Well, the problem is that stuff's randomly generated for each campaign, like where each thing is. So some people, it's
we
like
have to find their book in the fucking castle.
Right, like some people, they're like walking down the street and they trip over the book, and then other people, it's a bit more involved. So everyone has unlocked the things in different order, which is very fascinating. So
imagine if it wasn't the castle, if it was at the Amber Temple.
That is a location where things can be, yeah. In fact, don't tell you guys would have any occasion to tell them, but my classic group, that's where their Tome of Strahd is.
Jesus Christ.
I feel so bad because they have no idea what's going on. I just want to tell them, like, guys, this is what's going on. Let's see. So these are the 3 rolls for the day that I've made, and he has advantage because you are providing help, assuming you are trained in at least history or investigation. You are in one of those, right, Anna?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and since you are an untiring, unsleeping assistant, and he is a lifelong adventuring academic, you guys, burn the midnight oil, kind of thing. All right. So on that first check, begin studying the first and second chapters of the book, roughing out the key sections of the book. So basically figuring out like the titles and the headers. So there is chapter 1, War. And then chapter 2, Peace. I don't know why I put Peace so far down. And then chapter 3, Love. And chapter 4, Power. And then, let's see. What else does he figure out on the two of you figure out on the first day? Yes. You get the introduction to the first half of the book. All right, so it says, I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just God. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone into sand. All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and my strength gone. All I had left was death. My army settled in the valley, renamed for my father, as we took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle I built for them, Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei, nearly grown, and I had never known him. He was handsome and youthful. I hated him for both. Now, do you guys like gather around like each morning to like hear their translations for the night before? Is that what I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's see. All right. Then, in the first day, in addition to those things, you guys do get, I don't know, sub-chapter 1 of chapter 1. Androl 1. When I brought my father's armies to this land, among them was a bright young acolyte of the Morning Lord named Androl. His sermons inspired the troops and boosted their morale as well as their faith. As we subjugated the native Druidic and barbarian tribes, he sought to spread the worship of his god among the nature-worshipping primitives. He was a kind soul, often advising me to temper my wrath and show mercy towards our enemies. In him, I found a trusted confidant and advisor. All right, so that's what you guys got off of day 1. All right. Those of you who are not helping with the transcription, is there any highlights of the day that we should go over, or should we just head to the next day?
I use my insane perception to just always know what cards everyone has when we're playing
Damn.
cards.
Some might say that's cheating, sir. But
No, I don't use it to always win, but I do always know what everyone has.
However,
Gotcha.
I'm sure Irenia always plays the wrong card. So
Yeah.
Spades can be confusing. So,
I tried to explain it in Discord to her.
Oh, really? I just got a colon and then nothing. So I was like, if that's the explanation, she definitely doesn't understand.
Oh, sorry. It's in Daybreak General. I can.
Okay.
Picture
Daybreak
this.
General.
You've got a deck of cards, right? They give it like 4 clans: hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades, each with their own champions from 2 to the ace. Now, spades, right? They're the top dogs, the hunters that outrank everyone else, like a burgermaster or something. So we each team up 2 against 2. So Irene, you'll be with Tiernan, and Daniel and I will team up. And you try to predict how many rounds or tricks that you can win based on the champions or warriors that we got in our hands, right? So you say a number, and that's your pledge. Too aggressive, then obviously the shadows sort of bite back, right? And if you're too timid, then you'll fall behind and lose ground. So we start by taking turns throwing a card in the middle, trying to win each trick with the highest card of the leading clan, or spade, because remember, spades rule the night, right? So you follow the clan's lead call, unless you can't. So you have to use the same type of champion clan. If you can't, then you can use a spade to win the trick. Win as many as you pledge, you get points. Miss the mark, and you pay for it. Whether too high or too low. First team to win the agreed upon score, they win the game.
Yeah, she has this face the whole time. And then she's like, I understand.
Fucking kiddo face.
Yeah, Tiernan, you're a partner.
I mean, I guess it balances out with his stupid high perception.
I mean, perception and insight, one would argue, are as important to most card games as, math skills. So, yeah.
Shane is a gambler.
Yeah. Okay.
Daniel borrows the helmet here to hide his poker face.
Nice.
Yeah, in fact, when we did the whole lore skills, when that was a thing, gambling was one of his.
Nice. Yeah, sadly that mod was killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. What about you hunters outside? You just hunting and running free and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darius would try to talk to Emil.
Okay.
If he even seems receptive.
Yeah, Emil likes you. You're a big man. He's a big man. Like, what's not to like? Also, I don't want anyone to think that I don't like or respect Will Smith. The dude's a literal genius. He's super smart. He's incredibly talented. He's hardworking. Just because this guy looks like Will Smith, and we might, make some Will Smith references, it doesn't mean that we don't like Will Smith. Anyways, I wanted to put that out there. So he's an inspiration. He's a national treasure. Even when he's slapping Chris Rock, he's a national treasure. All right, so Darius. Yeah, like you guys, the two of them are naked. They've managed to catch a elk that ran away from its herd when you guys approached and made the mistake of going off on its own towards the water. It thought maybe I'll drown instead of being killed by wolves, and so it tried to swim. And then they just leapt 30 fucking feet from the shore onto it in the water, killed it, and dragged it back. So they're eating it while it's still alive. It's screaming out and bleeding and all that. And they're just eating its guts and everything. And he tears a bone with his strength score, which you imagine is probably around 20. Just tears this bone out of its leg and strips the meat off again while the deer is still alive. Chaotic evil, and chucks you the bone. And he says, you need more than just bones. You're going to wither away.
You're right. And he'll also have his hand out for the meat that was stripped off of it.
Okay. You find that meat is currently very unappealing, as the life force of the creature still lingers.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me reread my ability. Oh, it still has to. Okay.
Yeah, you only eat the dead, yo.
Then
You
yeah,
know, like a normal person, like a normal. I like
Yeah.
how it sounds so crazy, but then it's like, yes, we all like to eat the meat of the dead. Eating the meat of the living is pretty messed up. Yeah.
Then he'll look at the meal and he'll be like, "If you mind," and he'll go up to the elk and he'll just snap.
He says, you have no sense of sport. Sometimes these cries they make, they attract curious observers who make a fine second course.
Huh? Maybe I should have let you do your thing.
You are learning still. Learning of our ways.
I'll be honest. Not exactly like werewolves. Mainly because of what happened to one of our members some time back. But it is what it is.
They curse. They did not survive the transformation.
No.
Yeah. It can be hard.
Look.
And he looks like he's thinking really hard, like super hard, and then he says, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, he was digging deep. He's like, what are you supposed to say here? Well, you know, the weak need to be culled. No. Don't put that on the card. Don't put that on the card. What should I put here? He really was working hard on that one.
Hear the gears burning.
Yeah.
Thanks. Look, there's been a lot of stuff that we've been learning ever since we got here, and we're trying to make the best of it. Some of us aren't exactly the best to work with, but I think we at least have an idea of what we want to do.
Are you trying to talk to me in place of your alpha?
I don't speak for her, I speak for myself.
I understand. She is young, and she clings to her power, as she should. As should any with power. For others will always try to take it from them, as mine was taken.
Well, with the stuff that we learn and the stuff that we get, hopefully we'll be stronger. And then we can start dishing out some pain to the people who have been fucking with us.
That is the right way of thinking. Through pain, we will discipline them. Show them they have made a mistake. Warn them from making such mistakes in the future.
Before, I think I probably would have been a bit... I would have stopped at not thinking like that. But since coming here, fortunately, you got a point. Things will have to change.
Well, when all your reading is over, he says it like, ugh, you're reading. We will go north. We will reclaim.
We'll go whoop some werewolf who decide to fuck with you.
I ask that if Kirill is willing to face me, you allow it, with no tricks and no interferences.
Like what? One-on-one scrap?
Yes, I must reclaim the pack in open combat where they can see what happened in the castle.
If Zaluka's with us, Darius will kind of turn and look to her and be like, I think it's a good idea.
I mean, she's not going to say in front of her man that she doesn't think it's a good idea.
I mean, he's just giving her a look. He's just giving her a look like, I mean, all right, man. I'm not gonna step in.
He says,
Yeah.
she says, Emil, then you should view these few days as a chance to recover, to train, to rest. Perhaps you could fight with me and with Darius and any of the others. And he kind of scowls at her, and she says, I am not calling into question your strength. I am saying that you should be better prepared. He's like, prepared?
She's got a
Planning.
Point. She's got a
You
point.
have spent too much time with these outsiders.
But she's got a point, man. It didn't seem like, or at least it doesn't sound like he fought fair. He caught you off guards. Can't have that happen again.
And his eyes shift away when you say that, and he says, I was a fool for trying something different than what has always been done. I paid the price for trying to do things differently. I should have just confronted him in front of everyone and risked it all. I just thought maybe we could finally have something different. Something more stable. Something like it is nothing. It was foolish. And it cost me greatly. I will never make that mistake again. I am a wolf. I will live as a wolf and I will die as a wolf. To do otherwise is to deny my nature. To spit in Mother Night's face at her many blessings. I will not be a domesticated lapdog like those fools in Kresik.
Hey, just because you're a wolf doesn't mean you can't evolve into something greater.
Oh man, his whole face screws up in like a real ugly way, but you don't know if it's an ugly crying or because your insight's so low, or an ugly I hate the words that you said, or if he just has like allergies right now from all the lake water that got on him, as you can see in his illustration when he jumped in the lake.
I love that you give an excuse as to why he's covered in water every time you mention it.
I just don't know why. I know that he's in a flooded dungeon, like raw when you find him, but I just don't know why. Some of the best character art, some of the best character art in the book, in my opinion, and they made him perpetually wet. I don't know. I just, anyways, yeah, okay. I feel like that's probably more talking than the three of you would want to do. Yeah, the three of you in one day. So yeah. All right, we got time. Let's just burn out another day on this book. Let's go. So let's see. The hours pass. And
So
I guess
while we're here, this will be a long rest for.
Oh yes, yeah. These are long rests.
I mean, for most people.
Oh yeah, everyone except Tiernan. You could be getting some healing done.
I get like camping, right?
I guess camping's kind of something everybody does together. You just get short rest and go to bed at night.
Okay, so I don't get exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, you're fine. You're just not getting well rested because you crave the wild places of the world. You're Tiernan of the wood now.
This wouldn't be so bad if we couldn't only rest at sanctuaries.
Well, I mean, we all make decisions, I guess.
Tyrion
All right.
has embraced Bear Grylls.
On the next day, here are the investigations.
Suspiciously yellow
Oh,
cup.
baby.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess technically he can make these all the checks that are required. The question is, how long will it take him to make them in the appropriate order? All right. So let's see. All right. On the second day, you reveal even more of the book. Let's see. There we go. I don't know if you guys have the book open or what, but
I do.
oh,
I'm
you
with you.
do. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
I guess
since-
the DCs aren't too much of a secret, but I'll get rid of them for flavor. There we go. He is pointing out to you, Anna, and Anna, you are realizing this. It is getting easier the more of the book that you decipher. Because, you know, as you're kind of breaking the code, as it were, what is probably just frustrating, honestly, to anybody except Rudolph, who views this as, like, the most exciting thing that's happened to him in a long time. He changes his cipher frequently. So it's layered ciphers. It's Van Richten talks about if Strahd did this, it is a testament to a mind brilliant beyond his comprehension, rivaling some of the greatest sages and arcanists that he's ever met. And he says it in like a damn, I'm giving props where props are due. Like he cannot get over the complexity of this. And realizing that he's kind of doing that, he says, you know, gruffly, but it is probably because of the centuries he had to perfect it. Anyone could do this sort of work with enough time, obviously. All right, so Andrel 2. Andrel trained a prodigy to succeed him, a fiery young woman named Markovia. She found herself on the front lines with my men, healing and supporting them in battle, whereas I was hardened, even sharpened by the prolonged campaigns. She seemed to grow more and more horrified with the suffering and injustice of warfare. She questioned my methods and motivations in the war effort, at first privately, but when I would not back down against my enemies, she openly criticized the war and my command. Monster, predator were the words she used against me. For this open defiance, I could have had her executed. But I stayed my hand and reminded her that her service in my army was voluntary. Though Andrel sought to mediate our dispute, she abandoned her commission and founded an abbey near the camp in Kreskov. Alright, and so this will give you a reroll if you need it in the Markovia section later on. Andrel 3. When I pacified the heathen wood elves, Andrel believed they needed to be shown the light of the morning lord and abandon their primitive practice of abstract nature worship. When I felled the mighty silver dragon Argenvost and slaughtered his entire order of loyal knights, he was profoundly silent. Shortly thereafter, he too abandoned me. I hear he has settled in the developing hamlets named Valakai. And then Andrel 4, neither Andrel nor Markovia nor any of their followers have indicated they would attend the wedding of Sergei and Tatiana. I admit I find myself wanting for their wisdom and counsel in this trying time. Rahadin, loyal he may be, makes for a poor conversationalist. And so, that is all you guys managed to translate on the second day. Alright. Anything noteworthy on the second day that we should discuss? Or
Anna's
just
going
more of
to.
the same?
There's a statement in the Andrel. I lost it too.
Mm-hmm.
Where they call Strahd monster and predator.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's been called the same thing.
Mm.
And she remembers this. In fact, I think the guy standing right next to her called her that at one point.
Does she bring that up to him or just...
I don't think she's ever met this Van Richten. She met Richard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that someone would have mentioned this is the same guy. But yeah, she would confront him about it.
Did anybody say, oh, by the way, this guy was Richard from Valakai to Anna?
I imagine so.
Okay.
Otherwise, this would be very weird.
Yeah, sir. So yeah, when you confront him about being called a monster.
Yeah, he called her several names when she was alive. What do you think I am now?
The doctor takes off his glasses and he kind of cleans them, and then he puts them back on. He stares at you, and he says, "In this moment, you are my assistant. You are my confidant. You are my partner as we work through these texts. But
And
I do
once-
not take back my words. You are an unnatural thing. Surely you must know that, deep down. This is not how you are meant to be." Anna of Barovia, you were a human woman. And I do not know your life, but I know that the lives of women in most worlds and most cultures are hard, are terrible. My sympathy is without end for those who find themselves powerless against their own society. It does not change. You died, Anna of Barovia. You died, and your spirit, for whatever reason, could not move on. We know now that this place, it resides in the realm known as the Shadowfell. Here, there is no way for you to pass on, no conduit to heaven, no happy ending waiting for you after a life of toil and torment. I do not blame you for what you are, Anna. But I, if I could, would put your soul to rest, for you have seen and done too much. You deserve to rest. But such a happy ending is unlikely. And despite your nature, you have proven true To your allies, at least. And to yourself. We have a common enemy. And for now, that is enough. I do not call you a monster from high atop some ivory tower. I am a man, Anna. But I am the most monstrous of all I know. The things I have done in my life. The things I have lost. The hatred I carry in my heart. I am no less a monster than you. Both of us, in our own ways, are broken and inhuman. And so, let us work together, to bring down an even greater monster.
Indeed. I would like to talk with you more about this later, but we have a much more important task at hand.
Of course. He does discuss with you. I am unsure about this mention of Argynvost. I thought, the popular tales at least, that Argynvost moved against Ravenloft after the fall into shadows, not before. Is this a revisionist history on his part? Or theirs? Do you have thoughts?
I only know the stories and what I grew up learning. We could ask the knights. There's
If
one that
there's one
that we could talk to.
one who retains his sanity enough
He didn't-
for a
he-
civil conversation.
He didn't attack us on sight.
This could be a very valuable ally then. Yes. What is this person's name? Perhaps it is mentioned in his text.
Ooh, I don't remember, but I'm sure Anna does. Starts with a G, doesn't it?
Very
Godfrey,
good.
yeah. Okay. He says, I believe he was second in command of the order. If his mind is still intact, as yours is, then perhaps his words could be trusted. What story did he tell of the battle? I feel that knowing when the fight against Argynvost happened will tell us much about the man that has become the monster. For a vampire lord, defending what's his against a dragon, well, that's to be expected. And for a vampire lord bound to the land to be able to do that, well, that makes a certain amount of sense. A testament to his power. But if the dragon and his order moved against von Zarovich before things fell to darkness, what does that mean? Did they know something about von Zarovich that others didn't know? Was he up to something? And if, as a mortal man, he was able to fell such a beast, his power and strength could have only exponentially increased since then. Do you see how this could be a problem for us?
Indeed.
it also speaks of his character. In most worlds, a dragon of silver hue is a being of justice and good, freedom and righteousness. For it to move against a local lord, it's a statement. For that local lord to so willingly cut down such a beast and an order of paladins to desecrate the remains, I feel that this man was a monster long before he fell to shadow. But I will not speculate until we learn more. And he motions back at this big fucking book that you've got to translate.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of takes us to time. Alright, assuming y'all live to translate this book, it is a milestone, so definitely have that in your back pocket, right? Like, be able to quickly level up, because if it happens in the session, next session, and it's like, we got time, let's go somewhere else, then, you're going to want to be able to just be leveled up. So definitely have your level 10 level up ready, locked and loaded, ready to go. Because I think you're heading towards it. Don't start listening to the book yet, though, or reading it, because you gotta finish the book. But again, it's a pretty short book. So after you translate this, you're interested in listening to it. It can definitely give you some more insight into the campaign. So, all right. Quick announcements. Tuesday night is the first session of Strength of Thousands. A magic school in Magic Africa in Galarian, to really just dumb it down to its basest ingredients. Pretty excited. I'm playing in that one. Red Kobold is streaming that one, so it's going to be like really good streaming. He made a beautiful animated overlay for it. Everything's like top shelf. It's real nice. So if you're interested in joining us on that journey, that's going to be on Tuesday nights. I will probably be very active in chat because I won't have to stream. So it'll be one less thing to think about. I'm excited about it. We had a session 0 last Tuesday, and it was good. It went really well.
I can't wait to hear.
It's on its last leg.
So Thursday night, they were in a fight, and Dom's companion was on his last legs, but nobody said anything. And then somebody played the clip, and then we all acted like Dom had said it about his companion, and he was so mad because he's like, if I was gonna say it, I would have said it. I wouldn't have pushed the button. And everyone's like, "What button are you talking about? That was your voice. You obviously said it." And I was like, "This is what happens, man. When you sell your rights to the AI companies. You know what I mean? Who knows what they're gonna do with it?" And yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah,
those deep fakes.
Yeah, that's right. Of all the people to deepfake, it was Dom Odyssey. That's who they went after. So, all right. Anybody have any other announcements before we adjourn? All right. Then I'm going to double back around and I'm going to say I don't know how long the Curse of Strahd games are going to go, the Thursday and the one we're playing right now. But I will tell you this: I have Whips All Kobolds, Crown of the Kobold King, like 80% prepped. So it's pretty much going to be locked and loaded whenever these campaigns end. I'll probably take like a 2-week break and then I will post those up. So if you want an introduction to Pathfinder 2, a palate cleanser from this very serious grimdark gothic horror fantasy, and just a short 1-6 campaign with some goofball antics and some classic dungeon delving, but not so classic because you're a bunch of kobolds. Look for it when this is over, or when the Thursday one's over. Yep, that's all I got. All right. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday, and we'll continue this next week.
Thanks for running.
All righty.
Later, guys.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.